advantage. Apart from being really competitive, the world of gymnastics also offers beauty and amazing aesthetics. This industry is full of really cool, famous athletes we like so much. There's been a lot of news regarding this field, and in today's video, we'll talk about everything you can expect to see at Gymnastics World 2021. At first, let us talk about some of the gymnasts we will be seeing in the 2021 Olympics. There are 4 team members in the USA's women's artistic gymnastics team: Simone Biles, Jordan Chiles, Sunisa Lee, and Grace McCallum. All of them are older than 18. Many of the fans have probably heard many things about Simone Biles, a 24-year-old athlete from Texas who trains at the gym owned by her parents in Houston. It is noteworthy that she has not had an all-around competition since the year 2013. She's also won team gold medals and also individual golds on vault and floor exercise. Also in the 2016 Olympics in Rio de Janeiro, she won a bronze on the balance beam. Simone Biles is known for 2 skills on floor that are named after her: a double layout somersault with a half twist out and a triple twisting tucked double back somersault. She'll be competing in both of them as part of her floor performance in Tokyo. She also owns a skill that is named after her on beam, the double twisting double back somersault dismount. However, you'll likely not see it performed in Tokyo. You'll also find it interesting that Biles already has one vault named for her and is waiting for her second vault to carry her name. In that vault, she does a round off back handspring on the vault table, then performs a piked double back somersault off. As experts say, it is the most challenging vault landed by a female in competition. It's also been announced that she left Nike for Athleta, and she's even planning to debut a clothing line. Many of you may also remember her from the Uber Eats ad with a visa as Jonathan Van Ness and others. Sunisa Lee, another member of the Team USA, is an 18-year-old athlete from St. Paul, Minnesota. Sunisa is known as the first Hmong American Olympian. She is a professional gymnast who competes on uneven bars and is famous for her skills. Sunisa is also the world silver medalist on floor exercise and is also capable of making an event final on the balance beam. In the second night of the Olympic trials competition, Lee was actually able to defeat Biles. Despite the fact that Biles still ended up winning, we all saw what Sunisa is capable of, and we can be sure that she'll shine in Tokyo. Jordan Chiles, who is a 20-year-old athlete, will be the 3rd member of the Team USA. She lives in Houston and trains with Biles at the World Champion Center. Those two were actually really good friends. Similar interests and daily routine really got them closer. Those of you who watched the Olympic trials could witness the close bond between Chiles and Biles. Over the last year, Chiles has shown to be one of the most hardworking, consistent, and strong competitors on the team. On the 2-night trial, she, without a single failure, hit all of her routines perfectly. It's without a doubt that with her spirit and amazing skill, she can easily make it to an event final. 18-year-old Grace McCallum, also a member of Team USA, comes from Isanti, Minnesota. She trains at Twin City Twisters alongside Sarah Jancy. Fans know that McCallum participated in the last 2 World Championships. She is quite skilled with international experience and definitely deserves to be this year's USA team member. She actually had an accident in January. She broke a bone in her hand and had to undergo a surgery. Despite that injury, she came back and now is a team member, which highlights how much of a mental strength and dedication she actually has. As an article writer, Leela Moore writes in the 2021 Olympics fan guide, she is solid on all 4 apparatuses and will be one to watch in qualifications and in the team final, where she's expected to be a valuable cog in the wheel. Whether her scores are strong enough to catapult her to qualifications into the all-around or an event final remains to be seen. There are also 2 other athletes who will be competing individually under the American flag. Those athletes are Jade Carey and Michaela Skinner. In this case, their scores will not be added to the American team total and will not be competing in the final. So Carey, who is a 21-year-old athlete from Phoenix, has competed in various World Cup events to get to the point where she stands right now. She will not only compete in vault, but all 4 events. However, the most likely event where she stands the biggest chance of making it to the event final is the vault. It's also possible to witness Carey attempt to have a skill named after her during qualifications on floor exercise. This is a triple twisting, laid out double back somersault. Very similar mechanics to Biles' famous skill, but instead of having her body tucked, she has it stretched. Skinner, a 24-year-old athlete, is from Gilbert, Arizona. She trains at Desert Lights Gymnastics alongside Lisa Spinney. She already has an individual place, which was secured by the U.S. as one of the top 3 teams in the 2019 World Championships. She did really well in the U.S. Olympic trials. Her scores were actually higher than 4th place finisher and team member Grace McCallum got, but McCallum's international experience gave her the advantage over Skinner. Speaking of alternate athletes, you may have heard that Kara Eaker, 18-year-old American gymnast, tested positive for COVID-19 at the Olympics. Eaker is currently quarantining, and so is Leanne Wong, another alternate who was staying at the same room as Eaker. The other members of the American team all tested negative for COVID-19 and are now staying in a hotel that's outside the Olympic Village. Now let's talk about the gymnastics rivalry we'll be seeing in the 2021 Olympics. From what we know so far, American dominance will probably be challenged by the Chinese and Russian teams. As we already mentioned, the Olympics will be taking place in Tokyo, and the Japanese home team will be led by Murakami Mai, a young professional athlete. You should also be aware of the young teams from Great Britain and Italy. Both of them have shown that they're capable of a lot and have even won gold medals in the years since the last Olympics. There are definitely going to be very tough competitors. From the Russian team, you should be expecting 2 gymnasts. We do not know for sure, but one of them will most likely be Victoria Listinova, a young athlete who only recently became qualified for these Olympics. Angelina Melnikova, the team's veteran, will probably be the second member of the team. She's quite skilled, with a lot of experience, having won many international medals at very prestigious competitions. As we already mentioned, Sunisa Lee has literally the most challenging uneven bars routine in the world. When it comes to bars, she is a top contender in Tokyo. Her main competitor is Nina Derwal, a gymnast from Belgium. The routine she has can top Sunisa's backup routine, but not her top one. It's very likely that the balance beam is going to be the toughest event, mostly because of the unpredictability of the apparatus itself. One thing is for sure, we should expect Biles to shine here, and also her teammate Lee is also likely to qualify. However, McCallum and Childs are both very professional and quite consistent beam workers, and in case someone else fails, both of them could easily end up in the final. From what we saw in the past Olympiads, the Chinese team will most likely own the beam. We will see 2 Chinese athletes, and both will most likely win the medal. Ou Yushan and Guan Chenchen are the ones to look out for. As we already said, the beam is quite unpredictable, but anything could happen really. We should expect Biles to once again become the floor exercise champion. When it comes to the difficulty and execution, she has no rivals. What's more, she has proven many times that having a lot of power here is not a big deal. It's likely that she'll also have a fellow teammate by her side in the final. However, while Biles shows the best of her skills, do not forget about Skinner, Carey Lee, and McCallum. It's also noteworthy that Vanessa Ferrari, an athlete from Italy who already got the World Cup floor spot, is participating in her 4th Olympics. She's really determined to win the medal. We'll also be seeing Brooklyn Moores from Canada and Ethera Lordsrider from the Netherlands. Both of them are actually greatly admired by fans for their amazing skills in artistry. However, they definitely need to back it up with more difficulty to make sure they get the final spot. On this note, we end our video.